We are singing along.
So romantic.
In the studio, number 7 for this week, you got Perfect by Ed Sheeran from the Billboard's Hot 100 on the top 10 for this week. 34 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour, live in the mix, and now we're talking about an interesting topic, and it's basically about worrying, and that's something we probably go through in our daily lives, whether you worry about yourself, a family member, or a friend, or a situation. That's also considered under the same umbrella of you being a warrior.
And all of this, what we call, as psychologists, we call them cognitive distortions, which I said earlier. And cognitive distortions is what causes worrying, right?
Yeah.
So I want to share with everyone the most common. So if you're doing any of them, then you know you're a worrier. I mean, besides that, most people do know that they're worriers, but they don't know what to do about them. So, but just to explain that worrying is really about distorting some thoughts. So they're inaccurate thoughts, and they reinforce negative thinking or emotions.
Yeah.
So most common, filtering. Right? These are the people that constantly take the negative details and magnify it. So they'll, instead of having to look at the positive and the negative, they'll see the negative, and their vision of reality becomes very distorted, right? The second one, which is most common, people, this is the black and white polarizing thinking, what we mentioned a little bit. It is the most common because people always have this idea, we have to be perfect or we're a failure. So they're constantly going, there's no gray area. Because if people have gray area, they wouldn't be. They'll worry, but they will never be excessive worriers. But people that see things as in black and white, they're, so if their performance falls short a little bit, they see themselves as total failures. The other third one is overgeneralizing. Right? So a general conclusion because of one incident went wrong. So you think now everything that you're going to do is going to go wrong. So if one bad thing happens to you, they expect everything to be happening bad over and over again.
Yeah.
Right? The fourth one, jumping to conclusions. Right? So the idea is that people that worry is because they've already jumped to conclusion. So, for example, you could have a person who conclude that someone is reacting negatively toward them because they don't really like them, right? Or saying that you didn't say hi to me, so you must not like me. So overgeneralizing and now worrying about why this person didn't say hi to me and feeling convinced that their prediction is true and then there's something wrong with this person because they didn't respond to my call or they didn't, talk to me or I was ignored even though the person didn't really mean it. So instead of like trying to tell the person, you haven't spoken to me or you ignored me, they go ahead and make the scenario in their head that this person doesn't like me, they don't want me, and now I'm worried about my relationship with this person. The fifth one...
Doctor, doesn't that have to do anything with self-esteem, though?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, people that have anxiety are always worried about their... I mean, if you have confidence, then you're not going to jump into conclusion or have a black and white.
True.
So, I mean, it's true, and that's a good comment because most of the time, people think, oh, no, it's interesting because I'll get people, by patient, like, well, that sounds like you don't really have confidence in yourself. No, I love myself. No, it can be that I love myself. Loving myself comes with confidence, comes with security in my own ability. So if I don't have confidence, it means I'm not going to be secure in my ability, which means that I will think other people don't like me. I will think that I'm a failure.
Yeah.
I will exaggerate negative ideas. So yes, and it's so simple because when people think, oh no, it can't be my self-esteem, I'm doing well, people don't really understand the seriousness of this ability to love yourself or the ability to be confident about yourself. So yes, I think it's a good point. And people that worry, oftentimes, if for us psychologists, we have to get a lot of history and we dig and dig and dig, and sometimes we can be annoying. But the reason why we do that is also to prove that really this is not a surface problem. This is a more deeper issue with yourself, or even if they grew up in families that are like constantly worrying. There are families that have gone through some rough time, right? And because they've gone through a rough time or bad things have happened to them, they have concluded that many bad things will happen to them, as I said, overgeneralizing.
Yeah.
And this overgeneralizing, then it gets to be, then they inbred this in their kids. So now kids think that, oh my God, I'm not going to get a degree, I'm not going to pass, I'm not going to do all of these things. All right, the number 5 is... I cannot never say this word right. Catastrophic. It's like do. Catastrophic, right? So people expect disaster to strike, and actually worriers always think that something bad is going to happen. They're just waiting for a moment to be able to feel, just any moment,
Catastrophe
catastrophe. Why is like hard for me to say this word? So a person exaggerates the importance of insignificant events and saying that,
That's in relation to what's happening to the world. Like, for example,
that's true. You see
let's
that no
say,
more now.
Yeah,
That's
a
true.
natural disaster happened in one place in the world, and they will start to panic that's going to happen to us, it's going to reach us, and all of that. And they start to go through.
And unfortunately, you
anxiety.
see that more now because, if we have like people that the countries are having wars or, catastrophe that are happening around us. So people, experience it, the sense of that this is going to happen to me. Did you, I get patients saying, did you read the news? This is what's happening.
Yeah.
We're all going to do this like that, and then you stop them and you say like, oh, where did you get this idea? Well, I was watching the news. Well, did the news happen here? Has anything bad happened to you here? No, it hasn't happened to me yet. But it can be, that's the constant feel of unsafety, right?
Yeah, the
And
assumption of
it
things
is
gonna
assumption.
happen.
And this is actually one big area where people really have a hard time just stopping and thinking about the reality of what you're thinking. And that's what cognitive behavioral therapy is all about. Let's stop. Let's think about what you're saying. How is that relating to you? And how can you change because
The
I
way
can't
of
live.
looking at things.
And I can't live in a world where I'm constantly thinking something bad is going to happen to me. I just can't do that. And
It's like you're prisoning yourself into a very limited space of thinking and a very limited space of living, and you just cannot move any forward in your life, and that's eventually going to affect your life, your career, your family,
people
and the
around
people around you, because you're not able to proceed. I mean, that's a very interesting topic because, it can go on and on and on.
and you get
talking about a lot of
cautious
things.
and cautious. Of course,
Yeah,
that's
and I think it's going to just,
and the thing is that then again we go back to the same point. People that are warriors that have these cognitive distortion are not able to live in the moment. They can't be happy. And the idea is that most of the time, I was telling T yesterday that the idea is that happiness is something we should talk about the next time, because people are always pursuing of happiness, but you can't really pursue
I was
happiness.
actually reading an article today in the morning. It was actually saying 20 things happy people do it differently, and probably should just keep that for next time.
I think
it's
that thing would be
quite
good,
interesting
actually.
that, because it tells you your behavior. If you're a happy person,
That's
or
very
not,
true.
What happiness is to you. But anyways, now we have to move on with the playlist. Coming up next, we got a number 6 for this week, and that's The Middle by Zed and Mary Morris. And number 5, you got Balk Boy and Drake with the song called Look Alike. Enjoy these tunes. We will be back in a few minutes.
Hey, my new red tag dress on Facebook is creating waves.
Then I too must post my cool red tag shirt pic on Instagram.
Red tags big sale on women, men, kid, and baby wear, and also on
No
notwear.
horoscope?
Nearest red
No
tag
horoscope?
store
Our 4th anniversary is back again, celebrating
So-
our amazing offers in 8 stores.
I have a few more. Am I going to have time for a few more so I can pick that top
in
one?
360 Mall, Salmia Avenues, plus our other 5 branches.
Celebrate this season with new lower prices from Marks & Spencer. Now the style you know and the quality you trust comes at great new prices you'll love. There's never been a better time to refresh your wardrobe.
Yeah, I think there's just few of them that I think important for our audience to hear.
Today. Terms and conditions apply.
Walk into Kalyan Jewelers and drive out in your own Mercedes. Yes, just spend 50 dinars on gold, diamonds, or uncut jewelry today. And get
Hello.
bonds to win one of 25 mugs.
Hello.
Also win up to 3 gold coins on every spend of 200 dinars on precious stones, diamonds, and uncut jewelry. So rush now to Kalyan Jewelers before 9th June. Conditions apply.